Hello friends, let us start with the second part of wave shaping. Now in this particular video we will be looking at the two inputs that we will be applying to the high pass circuit. One is your pulse input and another is square wave input, and we'll try to find how the high pass circuit is going to respond to that those signals that we will be applying. Now before we start, let us define the pulse input waveform. So I will be drawing it and then mathematically we will be defining it. So pulse waveform is nothing but it is like this. So Vi of t versus t, and see this. So it's nothing but it is let us say 0, then it is time tp and the t afterwards. So remember, from the diagram we can say that a pulse waveform is nothing but it is a sum of step voltages. The step input we have already seen, or the response of step signal we have already seen. So it is nothing but it is the sum of step voltage of amplitude plus V volts for t is equal to 0 to t is equal to tp. You can see that it is similar to the step input having voltage V, okay. So from 0 to tp you will get the same input as that of the step input, which is equal to V, and it is after tp you can find that the voltage is minus V. So I can mark it here. So it is, let us say, minus V. So it is nothing but it is a summation of two step inputs. The first input is the first step input is from 0 to tp, which is V, and the second step input is this, which is minus V from tp onwards. Okay. So you can of course think of the situation here that it is the summation of two step voltages with amplitude plus V, and the amplitude minus V, which starts from tp as shown in this figure. Now remember this, for the time less than tp, means this time I am talking about. So for the time less than tp, the step input is similar to the step input that we have seen earlier, and hence the response of the circuit to the high pass filter is going to be same for t less than tp. The response of the output is going to be same, and therefore the output equation I can directly write as V into e to the power minus t by RC, that we have already seen. So I am talking about this particular period. So for this period 0 to tp, the input is V, which is similar to the step input, and hence the output we can directly write like the step input, which is V into e to the power minus t by RC, which is exponentially decaying waveform. Okay. Now see, at t is equal to tp, what is happening? At t is equal to tp means at this point your input is suddenly dropping to 0 here, and then it is going to minus V, right? So from V it is suddenly dropping to 0 first. So now the output, let us consider that at t is equal to tp the output is of course this particular voltage only. So rather than writing V0, I will be writing Vp. So Vp is nothing but it is equal to V into e to the power. Now t will be replaced by Tp by Rc. So the output at t is equal to Tp will be Vp rather than V0. It will be Vp I am calling at, because the time period is Tp, and it will be V into e to the power minus Tp by Rc. Okay, means somewhat like this. So I will be just drawing it in rough. Okay, so you can consider that it will start from V and then it will reach certain point called as Vp. So the decay will be from V to Tp. I am sketching the output waveform with a red color. Okay. Now what is the value of Vp? So the value of Vp we have already defined. It is V into e to the power minus Tp by Rc. Okay, since from the circuit of high pass filter you know that Vi is equal to Vc plus V0. If you remember, I will just sketch a diagram here. This is the capacitance, this is the resistance, and this is the output that you get. So it is V0, this is resistance, this is capacitance, and this is your input voltage Vi. So this input Vi voltage gets dropped into two parts: voltage across capacitance and voltage across resistance. That is Vi is equal to Vc plus V0. Now at the end of the pulse, when the input falls abruptly, by the amount V, because it was V, now it is 0, so it is falling by how much amount? It is falling by V. Now the voltage across capacitance cannot change instantaneously, and therefore the output voltage must drop by the same amount. See, the input has become 0, but Vc cannot change, so Vc will be that. Therefore V0 should drop by the amount of V, so that this is going to be equal, right? So if the input is falling by the amount V and Vc cannot change, now output should change by that particular amount. So let me quote that V0 is now, because V0 was Vp at t is equal to Tp, I am talking about Vp minus Vy, because the Vi has suddenly dropped, capacitance cannot drop, so of course output need to drop by the same amount, so it is Vp minus V. Now the output V0 is Vp minus V. Now Vp minus V, because Vp is a smaller thing, see, Vp is a smaller thing and V is a greater thing, so of course Vp minus V is going to be negative now. So of course this voltage will go into negative side, so Vp minus V, if I take, it will drop somewhere here, so I will write it here, Vp minus V. So now the output is going like this. See, it has started from V, fallen to Vp, from Vp it is now going to Vp minus V. Now because the negative voltage has been applied, now the capacitor is going to discharge. Now it will be discharging from its initial value. Now let us see what is the value of capacitance. So now you know that Vi is equal to Vc plus V0. Now the value of Vi is 0 at this point. At this point the value of Vi is 0. So if I consider it to be 0, the value of, see, this will be the equation, and therefore Vc is going to be minus V0. That is Vc is equal to minus of Vp minus V. See, this V0 is what? Vp minus V. So I have put this value here. So the value of Vc is now, I can write V minus Vp. We can write it as V minus Vp, because I can multiply this minus bracket by the minus sign. Now this is the value of voltage the capacitor is having now. What is that? V minus Vp, and from this value it is going to discharge. Okay, so now the equation is going to be the discharge equation of the capacitor. So it is going to discharge by the formula that the capacitor has. And what is that formula? That formula says the initial voltage. What is the initial voltage? So initial voltage is going to be V minus Vp into e to the power minus t by Rc. But what is the value of t here? The value of t here is t minus Tp, because I am talking about this time period, and from 0 to this time period is Tp. So after Tp, so that time period is going to be t minus Tp. So e to the power T minus Tp divided by Rc. So by this particular value, now their output is going to discharge. So the equation of this particular waveform that you have drawn, that will start from Vp minus V. Now that equation is going to be V minus Vp into e to the power minus T minus Tp by Rc. So I can call it as V0. See what has happened. Again I will be telling you that, now logically try to understand. So what I will be doing is, I will be drawing your input waveform by dotted lines, and let us try to find what will be the output waveform. So V0. Okay, what is this time period? This time period is Tp, and what is this voltage? V. So similar to that of the step input, the first thing will happen, that is from 0 to Tp, because the input is similar to the step function, and which is how much? V. So now the exponential decay will occur and your output will reach somewhere here, and that point I call it as Vp. That point I call it as Vp. What is the value of Vp? The value of Vp is the initial voltage V into e to the power minus Tp by Rc. Why? Because T is Tp here. Now at this point your input falls by amount V, and the equation is Vi is equal to Vc plus V0 for this particular circuit. But Vi has fallen by V, but Vc cannot instantaneously change, and therefore who needs to change? V0 needs to change. So output will change by the amount V now. It will fall by the amount V. So from this point now it has fallen by V and reached somewhere here. So that point is now called as Vp minus V, because the output here was Vp, and from that we have deducted what? We have deducted V. But if you see, the V quantity is greater than Vp, because Vp was only this much, right? And V is this. So if I am deducting Vp minus V, the voltage will go negative. Of course, in the diagram also you can see that this voltage is going to be negative. Now as this negative voltage is applied, now the capacitor starts discharging. Now the capacitor starts discharging, we need to find the voltage across capacitor. So see the equation. The equation was Vi is equal to Vc plus V0, right? But the value of input voltage is 0 here. See, it has fallen to 0 at T is equal to Tp. So Vi is equal to 0, so I will put it as 0. So if I put it 0, the value will be Vc plus V0, and therefore Vc will be minus V0. Therefore Vc is what is V0 minus V0? The V0 value is Vp minus V here, so I will put it here minus Vp minus V, that is V minus Vp if I multiply the negative sign in the bracket. So the voltage at this point becomes, or the capacitor's voltage becomes V minus Vp. From this initial value, or the voltage of the capacitance is going to discharge now. So the discharge equation of the capacitor will be similar to the voltage across the output, and that is going to be, see, V minus Vp, the voltage across capacitance, into e to the power minus T by Rc, right? Minus, now what is the T value here? Here the T value is T minus Tp value, because Tp already has passed. So for this value we are writing, so it will be T minus Tp. So time instance here it will be T minus Tp. So I will put it here. It will be T minus Tp divided by Rc. So this will be the equation, output equation, and the capacitor is going to discharge like this. And the equation here will be what? V minus Vp into e to the power minus T minus Tp by Rc. So see what has happened. You have applied a waveform which is kind of this, and the output that you have achieved is kind of this. See this. So from here it will fall and then it will discharge. See. So I will just darken it up for you so that you can understand. So applied was a pulse signal, and the waveform that you got is a kind of waveform like this. So it will be like this. Okay. So this is the response of pulse input to the high pass circuit. Remember this. Okay. Now the important part that we need to take is square wave, because square wave is very important to us. Now let us apply the square wave, then square wave to the high pass circuit. So I will be applying, or I will be writing it. So it is the fourth wave that we will study. So it is nothing but it is the response of square wave to high pass circuit. Very important. Try to understand. If you will logically understand this, it is going to be very easy. Okay, so let me first of all draw the square waveforms so that we will mathematically define it. So this is your Vi of t, this is t, and this is going to be your input waveform. So let me talk about the input voltage to be V1 here in the positive side, and the negative side I am talking about V2. So it is minus V2, I will say, because it is in lower quadrant, so I will call it as minus V2. So the voltage is V1 and minus V2. Of course the amplitude of these two will be same, but the only difference is because negation will be there because it is in the lower quadrant. So V1 is equal to minus V2, I can say. Okay, now let us define the time period. So let me talk about it is T1, so it is 0. This is your time period T2, and the total time period of the waveform is capital T, which is T1 plus T2. Okay, for T1 time period the upper half cycle is there, and for the T2 time period the lower half cycle is there, which is negative, having amplitude of minus V2. And this is applied to our circuit called as high pass circuit. So the diagram you know already. So this is V0 of T, this is your resistance, this is capacitance, and this is Vi of T. So this is your high pass circuit, and to this high pass circuit the square wave is applied. So from this diagram it is clear that now what is square wave? If number of pulses of alternative positive and negative amplitude occur with same amplitude, then we can say that it forms a square wave. A square wave may be defined as a periodic wave having the time period capital T, which is T1 plus T2, which is having the time period capital T, which is T1 plus T2, and every cycle of which has the amplitude V1 for time period T1 and amplitude V2 for time period T2, as shown in this diagram. Okay, for the square wave the output is same as the pulse input. If the only difference is the output in this case is going to be repetitive, alternative, negative and positive. Here it was open-ended in the previous case. Now it is not open-ended, but it is having some difference, right? So it is closed a bit if I compare it with the pulse that we have seen. So let us have two conditions first of all. So I will be defining the condition. Let us say the value of RC time constant is quite less than capital T, the total time period. So in this case the output is going to be similar to a pulse, wherein the output is going to fall quite early. Let us say this is V0 of T, it is time T, and in dotted lines I will be drawing the square wave that we have shown. Now what will happen? See, if this is V1, so what will happen is now the exponential decay will occur because it is similar to the step input. So exponential decay will occur. So let us have this input to be V1. So output is going to be V1. Now it will not reach the time period T1, and therefore it will fall down away before the input ends. So the output is going to be the waveform that I am drawing. Okay, now it will be stretched, then it is going to be negative, and then from negative it will fall down up very early before the time lapses. So this is going to be the output for RC quite less than capital T. So the waveform is not reaching the time period, but it is decaying down, or it is dying down way before the time period capital T1 and capital T2, and this will happen for RC quite less than T. Now it is very important to see what will happen for the second condition where RC is quite greater than capital T. This is what we need to see, and this is very important to understand. Okay, so for that purpose let us use a reverse engineering kind of methodology, wherein I will be drawing the waveform, output waveform, considering my previous knowledge of step input as well as the pulse input, and from there I will be calculating the values of the output coordinates that I get on the waveform. So let me sketch it here. So see what will happen. Again, what I will be doing is I will be drawing your V0 of T and T, of course considering the condition RC is quite greater than T. Now I will be drawing it in dotted lines, of course the input that we have applied. Okay, now see what is there. This is your voltage V1, this is your voltage minus V2. Okay, now what will happen is, if RC is quite greater than capital T, now it is not going to die down before the time period T1 and T2, but it will reach time T1 and T2. So let me draw it by a red color so that you can understand. So at this point the output is going to be V1, and from V1 it is going to fall to this point. Let me talk about this point to be V1 dash. From V1 dash the input is now falling to minus V2. Okay, so now the output is going to be till minus V2, and from minus V2 again the exponential decay or the capacitor is going to discharge, that we have already seen. Let us say it reaches the point called as V2 dash, and from V2 dash again it rises to V1, and from V1 again it is going to fall to somewhere V1 dash here. Okay, so this is what I have considered as the output of this waveform. Now here there are 4 points that I need to look at. One is V1, another is this V2, one is V1 dash, another is V2 dash. Of course they are symmetrical to each other because it is a square wave or a periodic waveform. So in this waveform V1 is equal to minus V2 and V1 dash is equal to minus V2 dash. So if I want to sketch this waveform, I need to know the expression for these 4 coordinates, V1 minus V2, V1 dash and V2 dash. But the good point is they are symmetrical to each other, but only the difference is they are opposite in sign, right? So if I calculate any two values, like V1 if I calculate, I can get V2 because I need to multiply it by the negative sign, and if I calculate V1 dash, I need to multiply it with the negative so that I can calculate V2 dash. So my next agenda is to calculate the value of V1 and V1 dash, or V1, any two values out of this, so that I can get the remaining values. Okay, now for that purpose let us define some points. Okay, so consider this diagram now. So considering this diagram, I am writing certain points and see if it is true or not. So when the square wave is applied to the output is as follows, that the diagram that I have drawn, red diagram. Okay, here you can see that at t is equal to 0, means at this point t is equal to 0, what is the output? The output is V1. So I will write V0 is equal to V1. Now at t is equal to T1. So I will write at t is equal to T1. Now what is the output? Let us say the output is what? The output is V is equal to, so let me define it as not V0 but define it as V. So V is equal to, and what is V? V is nothing but this voltage. Okay. So see here the complete one. Okay. Now at this point, just look at this point, t is equal to T1. Now output is the entire red line that you can see. And what is that value of that? See, above the axis it is V1 dash and below the axis it is minus V2. So can I write it here? V1 dash minus V2 is the output that you will be getting at t is equal to T1. Rather than V0, I am writing it here V intentionally, because it is nothing but it is the end-to-end value. If I consider V1 and V2 together, it will give me the value V, which is the output. So that's why I am writing it here. V is equal to V1 dash minus V2. See, V1 dash minus V2, because this value is minus V2. So it is V1 dash minus V2 is the output here. Similarly, at t is equal to T2, see what will be the output? V1, which is positive, minus V2 dash. So I can write it here, V is equal to V1 minus V2 dash will be the output at t is equal to T2. But because it is a square wave, t is equal to T1 plus T2 by 2, right? And T1 and T2 are same. So I can write it is capital T by 2. So T1 is equal to T2 is equal to capital T by 2 because they are symmetrical in nature. So T1 and T2 are, of course, they are going to be same. And what is their value? It is value is capital T by 2. And V1 is equal to minus V2 and V1 dash is equal to minus V2 dash. Symmetrical wave. V1 is equal to minus V2 and V1 dash is equal to minus V2 dash. And time period is equal, which is T1 is equal to T2 is equal to capital T by 2. Okay. Now let us derive the expressions of, and so that you can get any two values out of that, and of course the remaining values. So let me start from here. So for a square wave, okay. So let us talk about V1 dash. Let us start with V1 dash. Now what is V1 dash? V1 dash is the value which we get when we reach to the time period T1, but the initial voltage was V1. So it is V1 into e to the power, can I write minus T1 by RC, because at T1 I am considering this. So the output V1 dash is equal to V1, the initial voltage, into e to the power minus T1 by RC. It is from the previous two inputs that we have seen, the pulse input now only we have seen, so from there I have written this. Okay, so now see here, V1 dash is V1 into e to the power minus t by RC. So I can write it here, V1 dash is equal to, rather than V1 I can write minus V2, because V1 is similar to minus V2. So I have replaced this V1 by minus V2, and it is e to the power. Now I am not writing t because I will be writing in general, because I have written t, and t1 and t2 is similar to t by 2. So let us write minus t by twice RC. So rather than writing t1, I have written it t by 2. So e to the power minus t by twice RC. Okay, I hope you have got this. Okay. And let us talk about now at t is equal to t2 what will happen. This was at t is equal to t1. Now t is equal to t2, what is there? Now you will be finding out like v2 dash value is what we can calculate. So what is v2 dash? So v2's initial is, v2 dash's initial is v2. So how you can define it? You can define it as v2 into e to the power minus t2 by RC. So v2 dash is equal to, what I can write is, it is v2 into e to the power minus t by twice RC. So t2 is replaced by t by twice RC. Okay, now let us continue with this equation. So I will be just giving it, let us say equation number A, this is equation number B. So let us move forward with equation number P now. So equation number B is v2 dash is equal to v2 into e to the power minus t by twice RC. Okay, then what will happen is, now the output, but at capital T is equal to T2, what is the output? Output is V is equal to V1 minus V2 dash. It is V1 minus V2 dash. Therefore V is equal to, let us put it, so the value is going to be minus V2. V1 is replaced by, let us say, minus V2 minus V2 dash. That is minus V2 minus V2 into e to the power minus t by twice RC. See, this I have put, rather than V2 dash I am putting this value now, and V1 is replaced by minus V2. So this is the equation that I get. Okay, then what I will be doing is, let us take common minus V2. So if I take V2 minus V2 common, what will happen? It will be 1 plus e to the power minus t by twice RC. 1 plus e to the power minus t by twice RC. Okay. Now from here I can get the value of V2. So let us try to get the value of V2. So I will be just writing it on the second page, keeping this page alive so that you will understand, because we have started with this. Okay. So let me have this equation. Okay. So let us start with this. So this is what we have reached. Okay. So let us move forward to this. So from here I will be calculating the value of V2 now. So what is V2? So V2 is minus V upon 1 plus e to the power minus t by twice RC. See this here. So V2 is taken here and V is taken here. So V2 will be minus V 1 plus e to the power minus t by RC. Now this term e to the power minus t by twice RC can be compared to e to the power minus x, where e to the power minus x is a series which can be written as 1 minus x upon 1 factorial plus x square upon 2 factorial minus x cube upon 3 factorial plus x4 upon 4 factorial. We can write this, it is in series. And if I neglect the upper powers and write only the singular powers, if I neglect these powers, what is the term that I will be getting? So e to the power minus x will be 1 minus x. So from our equation it is e to the power minus t by twice RC. This term, remember, we are considering this term. So that will be equal to 1 minus t upon twice RC. 1 minus t by twice RC. It is 1 minus x, and what is x? X is t by twice RC, so it is 1 minus t by twice RC. So let us put it here in this equation. So now my equation is going to be, see this, V2 is equal to minus V upon 1 as it is plus 1 minus t by twice RC. That is minus V upon 2, 1 plus 1 is 2, minus t by twice RC. So try to understand step by step. We have taken this particular function as e to the power minus x. We have written it series, neglected the upper power. So this e to the power minus x can be written as 1 minus x. So e to the power minus t by twice RC can be written as 1 minus t by twice RC. And therefore this term that we have got now. Okay. Now see this. Now what we'll be doing is we will be, okay. So let us move forward. Remember why we are doing this. We want to find the values of either V1, V2 or V1 dash, V2 dash, so that we can sketch the output waveform. Okay. Let us move forward now. So what I will be doing is minus V upon taking 2 common again. So it is going to be 1 minus t by 4RC. Taking 2 common from this particular term. So okay, next is, that is, okay, that is I can write as minus V by 2, and taking this term upper on the upper side, so it is 1 minus t by 4RC to the power minus 1. Okay, so this is the term that I can relate to. Now this is the term I am talking about, only this much term. So this term is nothing but it is similar to 1 minus x inverse, that can be written as 1 plus x square plus x cube plus x to the power 4 and so on. So neglecting the upper terms, 1 minus x inverse can be written as 1 plus x. So in this way I can write 1 minus t by 4RC to be 1 plus t by 4RC. So it is 1 plus x only. Okay, now let us come to that part then again. So my term is going to be minus V upon, so it is going to be minus V by 2 into, not upon because we have taken already, it is on the upper side, so it is going to be 1 plus t by 4RC. 1 plus t by 4RC. So this is the term called as V2. This is the term called as V2. Similarly, therefore V1 will be what? V1 will be V by 2 into 1 plus t by 4RC. Only the negation sign is going to be changed because V1 is equal to minus V2. So I will be multiplying this by the minus sign, so it will become plus, and the entire thing is going to be similar to that of the first term. So I have calculated V1 and V2, remember, but still V1 dash and V2 dash is remaining. So let us try to calculate V1 dash and V2 dash on the next page. Okay, remember we need to sketch the output waveform. So for sketching the output waveform we are calculating this. Now to calculate the value of V2 dash, let us start with the value of V2 dash. So what is V2 dash? Oh, V2 dash is nothing but it is V2 into e to the power minus t by twice RC. Simple term. Okay. Now that is equal to minus V upon 1 plus e to the power minus t by twice RC into e to the power minus t by twice RC. From where it has come? It has come from the previous slide that we have taken. See here. See this. V2 value is minus V upon 1 plus e to the power minus t by twice RC. Instead of V2 we have used this equation. Before applying e to the power minus x term we have written this term. So I have used this term here and I have multiplied this. Okay. A bit of mathematical manipulations are there. You need to of course take care of this because if we are not doing this, of course we will not be getting the coordinate values. Okay. Remember the numericals are of course important in this regard. So okay, So if I multiply this, what will happen? It is going to be minus v. I am multiplying e to the power minus t by twice RC to both the sides. So it is going to be e to the power minus, not minus t, it will be t by twice RC plus 1. So e to the power minus, so I will write multiply e to the power minus t by twice RC to numerator and denominator. So I will be getting this term. Okay, then what is there? So it is v2 dash value. So v2 dash value is going to be minus v upon 1 plus e to the power t by twice RC. Again expanding the term, because it is e to the power x, so e to the power x can be written as 1 plus x square and so on. So neglecting the above term, so I can write it as 1 plus x. So v2 dash is going to be minus v upon 1 plus 1 plus t by twice RC. The similar thing that we have done in the previous thing. Okay, so it is minus v upon 2 plus t by twice RC. It is minus v upon 2 common, so it is going to be 1 plus t upon 4 RC. Taking inverse, so it is minus v by 2 into 1 plus t by 4 RC's inverse. Again the term comes out to be x inverse, so x inverse can be written as 1 minus x plus x square minus x cube and so on. So it is 1 minus x term, so that can be written as minus v by 2 1 minus t by 4 RC. It can be written as minus v by 2 1 minus t by 4 RC. So this is the value for v2 dash. Similarly, what will be v1 dash? Of course, exactly opposite to that. So it is going to be v by 2 1 minus t upon 4 RC. 1 minus t upon 4 RC. So we have got all the 4 points. Now just take a look at the diagram that we started with. This was the output waveform we talked about. So what is the value of V1 here? The value of V1 is what we calculated on the last slide. The value of V1 is this, V by 2. So I will be just writing it on the diagram. So what is V1 here? So this V1 is going to be V by 2 in the bracket 1 plus t by 4 RC. What is V1 dash? Just now we have calculated. So it is nothing but it is V by 2 t. So it is V by 2 1 minus t by 4 RC. Similarly, this value is going to be exactly opposite here. So minus V by 2 1 plus t by 4 RC, and this is going to be V by 2 minus V by 2 1 minus t by 4 RC. So these are the 4 values we have calculated. Now these 4 values, if you know, of course you can sketch your output waveform. Okay. Now there is an important concept to understand here, and that concept is called as percentage tilt, because input and the output waveforms have changes in them. Okay, we applied the square wave and the waveform that we are getting is kind of this. So it is like this. Kind of this waveform we are getting. So how much tilt is there between input and output is what we need to calculate, so that we will understand, and therefore we will calculate another concept from here called as percentage tilt. Very important, percentage P. Now what is the percentage tilt, or what is tilt? Now the tilt is in the output waveform is given by, it is defined as the ratio of change in or fall in amplitude of output wave during t by 2 time period to the amplitude of input waveform during the same period. So mathematically if I want to write, it is nothing but it is percentage P is equal to, see, the output, change in the output, so it is V1 minus V1 dash in the time period of V by 2 multiplied by 100. See, the total waveform output was considered to be V, so it is V by 2. Initially, what is the output? V1, and it falls to V1 dash for the time period of T by 2. So by this particular formula, you can calculate percentage tilt. Now let us put the values. So if I put the values, it is going to be, let us say, V by 2, 1 plus T by 4 RC, right? Minus V by 2, 1 minus T by 4 RC into 100 divided by V by 2. Okay, so this V by 2 will be cancelled out, right? And what will be term remaining? 1 plus T by 4 RC minus 1 plus T by 4 RC. So I am multiplying by the minus sign, okay, into 100. This V by 2, this V by 2 and this V by 2 are cancelled. Now what will be there? See, this one and this one is going to be cancelled, and the term will be T plus T, twice T upon 4 RC. So I can write twice T upon 4 RC, or I can write T by twice RC. This 2 and this 2 is going to be 2. Okay, multiplied by 100, of course. Now, if the lower cutoff frequency, we have talked about lower and higher cutoff frequency. So if the lower cutoff frequency or the lower 3 dB frequency that we call is F1 is equal to 1 upon 2 pi RC, then what will happen is, therefore I can say pi F1 is equal to 1 upon twice RC. See, F1 is equal to 1 upon twice RC. So if I take pi here, so it is going to be 1 upon twice RC. So here, see, I can see this term twice RC. So let us replace it. So the percentage tilt or P is called as, so I will just replace it. So it is going to be capital T twice RC is replaced by pi F1. So T into pi F1 into 100. But capital T is 1 by F, so I can write it here, pi F1 upon F into 100%. So this is percentage tilt. So percentage tilt can be calculated as pi multiplied by the lower cutoff frequency F1 divided by the frequency of the waveform you have applied multiplied by 100%. So this is very important expression as far as examination is concerned. Okay, so this pi F1 upon F into 100. Remember, we have taken today two important waveforms. One is the pulse input, another is the square wave. So remember these two, practice the expression well, because they ask you in this in examination to prove the expression for percentage tilt. So of course you should know the values of V1, V1 dash, V1, V2 and V2 dash. So for that purpose, the previous expression that we have seen, finding out the coordinates of the output waveform, is very important. Okay, so we'll continue in the next lectures about the low pass filter, high pass filter, all the inputs. Okay, ramp is remaining. So I will be taking a ramp input in the next video with why the high pass circuit is called as a differentiator, with the numericals of high pass circuit. So that will be covered in the next lecture, and then we will move ahead to the low pass circuit. Till then, be safe at your house and happy learning. Thank you.